You walk in here with glasses and a quiet stare like you're a schoolteacher on a field trip. But I know that look, man. I've seen it in mirrors before the blood dried. They say you built an empire out of blue dust. You don't dress like a king. You don't move like a boss. So tell me, Water, why do men fear a man who looks like nothing?
Because nothing is the perfect disguise. You built your empire by roaring, by letting the world know your name. I built mine by whispering while everyone assumed I was harmless. When I finally spoke loudly, they realized the monster had been standing beside them all along. Fear isn't in the noise, Tony. It's in the quiet you didn't notice until it was too late.
Quiet didn't save me when they came through my door with guns blazing. You hide in the shadows and play chemist. But sooner or later, somebody comes looking for the man who's stacking money while they starve. You think whispers can outlive bullets. Look at Vito Corleone. Always talking about family, always smiling polite. His son still drowned in war, because when there's powder and hunger, somebody always wants more.
Vito built a dynasty on tradition. I built mine on science. My product was flawless, undeniable. I didn't need loyalty. I needed chemistry, control, and inevitability. When I faced Gus Fring, it wasn't strength that killed him. It was precision. A bomb in a nursing home, a handshake turned into a funeral. You fight with rage and spectacle. I fight with math. And math, Tony, math doesn't miss.
Precision, huh? You sound like one of those Wall Street guys who thinks numbers can stop hunger. You know what hunger does? It kicks down the lab door. You think Gus was your challenge? I went through armies, man. Cubans, Colombians, cops. I shot my way through with nothing but my name, my balls. When you stand loud enough, people stop seeing math and start seeing God.
Gods burn quickly when they believe their own myths. You stood on your balcony screaming at the world to take its shot. That wasn't courage. It was suicide dressed as defiance. Power isn't in the bullet, it's in the choice to fire or not. Look at Thanos. He didn't scream. He snapped. One quiet act, an entire world's bent to his will. You crave attention. I crave inevitability.
You talk about inevitability like it's poetry, but you're forgetting something. People ain't numbers. They got hearts, guts, fears. You think you can control all that with equations. Look at Michael Corleone. He thought he could play chess with bloodlines, and his whole family burned anyway. Your Heisenberg name is just a mask. When the mask slips, when your family sees what you are, there's no formula to bring them back.
My family saw me for what I was in the end. They feared me, hated me, maybe even pitied me. But they will live because of me. Skylar breathes because I outplayed everyone who tried to break us. Flynn will grow up knowing his father didn't die a quiet nobody. I did terrible things, yes, but I did them with intention. You destroyed everything you touched because you couldn't control yourself long enough to stop pulling the trigger.
Control is for men who never had to crawl out of the mud. I came to this country with nothing, man. Dirt on my shoes, fire in my veins. You talk about intention. My intention was survival. You had a family, a home, a job. You wanted more. That's greed. Amigo me. I wanted a seat at the table because no one ever gave me a chair.
You confuse greed with ambition. I didn't just want a chair at the table. I wanted to build the table itself. When I started, I told myself it was for my family. That was the lie I needed to begin. Over time, the truth revealed itself. I wasn't dying of cancer. I was dying of mediocrity. You fight for recognition. I fight to be undeniable.
Undeniable? You mean untouchable? You want to play ghost, hiding behind lawyers and fronts. I wanted to stand in the sun, to look my enemies in the eye and dare them to try me. You think I died because I shot it too loud? No, man. I died because I stood alone while my enemies hid like snakes. You'd rather be the snake? Me. I'll always be the lion.
Lions roar, snakes strike silently, but both end up in the same dirt when the hunt is over. The difference is legacy. Your roar was loud, but it ended with a single burst of gunfire in a gaudy mansion. Mine will linger like a chemical reaction set in motion long before anyone realizes what's happening. Years from now, they will still whisper, Heisenberg, and they won't even remember your name.
Legacy doesn't keep you warm at night. Walter, Legacy doesn't hug your wife or teach your kid to ride a bike. You'll leave whispers, but you'll die cold like I did. At least I died on my feet, not hiding behind a lab coat. Men like us don't get heaven. We get one last stand and a body count.
I don't need heaven, Tony. I need the world to know that for a brief moment, one man bent it to his will. Even if they hate me, even if they curse my name, they will never forget me. You chased freedom and died a prisoner to your rage. I embraced the monster and became the myth.
Maybe you're right. Maybe myths last longer than men. But I'll tell you something, Walter. When the bullets were flying, when the room burned, and every enemy I ever made came through that door, I didn't feel regret. I felt alive. You with your numbers and your schemes. You'll never know what it feels like to face death and laugh.
I faced death more times than you can imagine. Cancer, cartel, empire, betrayal. I didn't laugh, Tony. I calculated. Laughter is a release. Calculation is control. When you laughed, you surrendered to chaos. When I calculated, I became chaos itself. That's why your empire fell in a single night. Mine will echo long after both of us are gone.
Echoes fade. Hermano. The street doesn't care about whispers. It cares about who's holding the gun today. You build castles out of science, but one hungry kid with nothing to lose will kick them down. I used to be that kid. Sooner or later, someone else will wear your crown, and they won't even know your name while they're climbing over your corpse.
Let them climb. Let them think they've conquered something new. Every man who tries will be walking the blueprint I designed. Even if my name fades, the system I created remains. Blue meth wasn't a product, it was a signature. Like the Mona Lisa or Oppenheimer's bomb. You can kill the painter, but you cannot unpaint the masterpiece.
Masterpieces burn too, Walter. Museums get bombed. Cities crumble. I've seen empires rise and fall faster than a kilo moves through Miami. You think your blue powder makes you immortal, but it just makes you another dealer with fancier math. The world doesn't care about formulas. It cares about fear and respect. And respect only lasts as long as the barrel's hot.
Fear and respect are temporary, yes, but inevitability, that's permanent. A hurricane doesn't ask for respect. It simply arrives, and men kneel because they have no choice. I didn't seek thrones or parades. I became a storm. You fought as a man. I moved as a force. And forces don't fall. They change shape and continue.
You keep talking about storms and inevitability like you're some kind of god, Walter. But I see you for what you are. A scared little man who needed cancer to finally feel alive. You didn't build an empire. You built a coffin out of chemistry sets. Without your lab coat and your lies, you're just another teacher grading papers nobody reads. You don't scare me. You bore me.
The world underestimated me once, and it paid in blood. I destroyed men far smarter and stronger than you, Tony. Gus Fring, the cartel, entire organizations. Gone because they didn't see the plan until it was too late. You roar, you posture, but noise can't stop a slow, calculated burn. My empire wasn't loud because it didn't need to be.
Calculated burn. Please. Your empire lived under your own kitchen table. You hid from your wife, your kid, your own reflection. You think that makes you powerful. I built my kingdom out in the open, man. Everybody knew my name because I earned it. And when they came for me, I stood on my balcony and fought like a man until my heart exploded. You'd be begging behind a desk while the walls closed in.
You screamed your name to the world, and the world answered with bullets. Empires built on rage burn fast and leave nothing but ash. When children whisper legend in dark alleys, they won't say Montana. They'll say Heisenberg. And your name will be just another body buried beneath mine.